And if you want a copy of it afterwards, let me know.
I will do. Appreciate that.
No, and I appreciate you doing this. I should have been more organized in my ask of you. Good evening, Travis. Welcome. How are
Hello,
you?
Travis.
You muted. We can't hear you.
How's that?
There we go. Now we can hear you. Yeah, welcome to our meetup.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for folks to gather. We've got close to 30 RSVPs. So all right. Sorry, my phone took over the Bluetooth speaker here. You guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you well.
Okay, good. So have you been here before, Travis?
Yeah. I missed last month, the last meetup, one before I attended.
Oh, okay. Good to have you back. We're going to start having speakers at our meetups. Next month, this month, we've got high-level marketing software being talked about by Eason there. And next month, we're going to have, I think he's still putting the presentation, but Daryl from AYD Marketing specializes in LinkedIn and Google lead ads. So paid ads, I guess maybe I should call them. And he's going to do a little presentation. I might do one in January. I haven't yet quite figured out the exact scope of it because that kind of changed. But what do you have a specialty, or are you here to offer help or to get help? Because that's basically the
I don't think I have much help to offer.
Okay. Do you have a specialty in the WordPress world?
I run my own e-commerce store.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now I'm putting the face
laser
to the story.
I'm the laser guy.
How's it been going?
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I since I have two different jobs, you gave me a lot of good pointers, and I kind of jumped on it, and then kind of gets forgotten about a little bit, so it sometimes moves slower than I'd really like it to move.
I don't think that makes you unique in any way. I was watching a marketing video today where they were emphasizing short bursts of productivity. Hey, Mike, what's going on? Good to see you, man.
Not too much, Ed. Nice to see you too.
Yeah, the emphasis was on short bursts of productivity, and that's in. I'm still waiting I was only halfway through the video. I had to go do something else, but I think he's going to flesh it out a little further. But yeah, sometimes I realize I've just been grinding, and sometimes maybe it might be a little bit smarter to pace it. More breaks, more focus, So how's things up north there, Mike?
A little rainy, a little cooler.
Oh,
yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, no, definitely San Diego is feeling that summer is not quite here like it usually. Although, what the hell am I talking about? It was like 77 yesterday.
Yeah.
But the nights are getting cold, and it's dark a lot earlier, which I
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's dark here now.
Does anybody here milk cows in the morning? Yeah, because as my understanding is, that was a big driving point for daylight savings in the first place. So I'm wondering if it might be time to just go to one cow, one time frame, So I was telling these guys, Mike, we've got 16 people RSVP'd on LinkedIn. We've got 8 people on Meetup. We've got
You got
Daryl.
11 on Meetup.
I'm sorry?
You have 11 on Meetup.
Oh, is it 11 now? Oh, good. Well, hopefully, considering it's 5 minutes after the hour, they'll actually show up.
Yeah, they tend to roll in 10, 15 minutes.
I'm still trying to calculate that disconnect between start time and roll time, because we're a 90-minute meeting. So
What I do in my meetups is I just jump right into help desk. Anybody got a problem? Let's go. And then after about a half hour, I'll do the news and the updates and
right.
Because people start rolling up and
And that's basically our format. And you may remember Travis. He was here a while back. And you do laser engraving.
Correct. Yeah.
Travis.
Hi, Travis.
Hello.
So we got 3 helpers and one shall we call him user. So like Mike is saying, usually I call for people who need, have any problems, any issues they would like to have addressed. Do you bring anything to us tonight? I'm speaking to you, Travis.
Is that directed at Travis?
That's directed at Travis.
The only thing that I ran into recently, I had to change, didn't have to, but I ended up changing my credit card processor. I was using Braintree, which is a division of PayPal. And they no longer have tech support that you can call.
Really?
Everything they do is email. And that's just ridiculous.
What'd you switch to?
With an e-commerce store, I've had people trying to, scam me a little bit, putting false orders in and stuff, and then they flag the account, and it takes days to resolve because I can't even talk to anybody. And so I ended up changing processors. And
what would you go with?
I went with GoDaddy Payments,
and
I'm not totally happy with them either.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of GoDaddy, but hey,
that their setup was nice and easy. They pay out quicker. Their paperwork, what they send me with each payout is definitely better than Braintree as accounting wise. But I've had a few orders that, and these are existing repeat customers, that the payment went payment pending. And when I called, they go, well, we don't have it, so we don't know what to do. And I have to go back to the customer and wrap around and get them to pay me again, which isn't good.
It's interesting you mentioned this because I had a very anomalous day on Saturday. It started out with, and I do other stuff in the morning. So I got on my computer like 12:30, something like that. One of the first things I noticed was emails from Facebook and from PayPal that, long story short, I had been hacked. My Facebook account had been hacked. Now, I had just changed my 2-factor login on October 19th, so it had only been in place for 3 weeks. But somehow they were able to add an email address to my account and then use the email address to have a code sent to them, which allowed them to access my ad account. They went in and placed a couple $100 worth of ads. And of course, they cha-chinged immediately. So they went to PayPal and they went to and immediately hit my bank, right? So I contacted PayPal first, and I was a little convoluted on who I was contacting at what time, but I was contacting Facebook and PayPal, and of course Facebook is really easy to contact and they're very responsive and they have people just waiting to help you. But PayPal, I contacted them and I spoke to the lady, told her what happened. She opened a case. Within an hour, the case was rejected. Yeah, we don't find any unauthorized charges. And there was like 8 charges done between 9 o'clock and midday. And so I was like, well, this is bold, you know. So I called them back. This time I was able to make my way to a senior resolution specialist, and he looked at my account. And by then I had already screen captured my emails and everything like that. So I had my case put together. And anyway, he told me, he looked at my account. Oh, thank you for being a customer for 20 plus years, blah, blah, blah. And he said, I'm just going to overturn the result. And the money was back in my checking account within like an hour.
Yeah,
On a Saturday. I had
can
never.
call
That's awesome.
PayPal. Calling PayPal, you can get help, but their
processor
e-commerce
thing.
gateway, their e-commerce payment solution, which is the Braintree division.
Yeah.
It's like I said, I can only email them now.
So back to your initial point, have you encountered any issues with changing the payment processor?
The changeover went as smooth as it could be. GoDaddy, I mean, it was 2 clicks, 3 clicks of the mouse, and GoDaddy was active. Since they host my website anyways, they have all my information. So the setup was super easy.
Okay.
And I don't know the reason yet that I've had these particular couple payments that never went through.
How does their fee structure compare to Braintree?
A little bit cheaper.
Oh, GoDaddy's cheaper.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I think Braintree just was a flat like 2.9%.
Hey, if you can move in the direction of cheaper in 2023,
Yeah.
I say.
And I'm at 2.6% plus 30 cents a transaction.
Okay, cool.
So a little cheaper. But like I said, the information I get for accounting and the payouts much better than Braintree.
Okay.
I figure out what and I don't know if it's a timing issue where when somebody puts their credit card information in, it has to get authorized, and if it takes too long, this is my guess, if it takes too long, then it doesn't authorize. And there's nothing that I've been able to find in the back end of my website that I have adjustments. So I'm actually waiting for another one to fail on me. So because I've already passed by the ones that have failed. So I've got to give them something like, said, you took your screenshots. I never did that. I should have. And then I could have presented that to the GoDaddy payment and say, okay, here's the problem I'm having, and hopefully figure it out. So till another one fails, I'm just kind of letting it go. And maybe it was just a fluke, that it was all happening in about 1 week and a half or so. Haven't seen anything in the past week, so it might have just been a little fluke. I'm just going to let it run for a while and see what happens.
Good. Okay. Well, good. Hey, I want to welcome, by the way, Magic Will. Magic Will, what a cool name. And Kashif to our meetup. Kashif, I guess, is going to remain video less. How about you, Daryl? Do we get to see you in front of the lake tonight?
Yeah, I'm eating now, so.
Oh, okay. I got you. So this is usually the time when we would call for, if anybody who's bringing an issue, something that they need some help. We've got several people here on the helper side of the WordPress equation that are able to help out. Kashif is camera-less. But you can also tell us if there's an issue. You probably have to describe it and can't show it. We do share screens around here. So if there's something you want to show us in terms of a WordPress issue we might be able to help you out with, let us know. Anybody got anything? No? All right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start our introductions so we can give some more time for people to gather. I'm not going to start with you, Eason, because I want some more people to gather. That way your introduction can reach as many folks as possible. Travis, you were the first one who showed up. Why don't you start by telling us who you are and what you do, where you are, why you're here. And I think we've just heard your biggest WordPress challenge, but if there's one that's even more challenging than that, let us know. So anyway, go.
So Travis Elmer, I am Escondido, California. I run an e-commerce website. Call that my night job. And the main thing I do is I do laser engraving, and been trying to build that a little bit bigger.
You can tell us the URL if you want.
laserengraverpro.com.
And by the way, don't forget, folks, we do have chat, and you can put information in there. We're pretty easy as long as you're not bombing with porn or anything like that. But contact information, any URLs you want us to check out, any useful resources. I always encourage people to save the chat at the end. I'm about there.
I'm not getting that laser engraver. You spell it with a Z or an S?
S.
S. I get a placeholder site. I must have it.
Laser Engraver Pro, PRO.
Oh, Pro. Okay.
Why don't you go ahead and type
Upper
it
link.
into the chat? Anything else? I'm sorry for interrupting
I'm
you.
looking for the chat.
I think I got it here. I'll put it in the chat.
There we go. Cool.
Loads fast.
All right. Hey, Mike, why don't you tell everybody who you are and what you do? And
Oh, sure. I'm Mike from Spokane. I host some meetups, a weekly e-commerce meetup and a monthly WordPress meetup. I do a few other things. I manage about a dozen websites. Really not a WordPress expert, but I got drug into this environment for hiring crappy developers over the years. So now I know enough to make my own problems instead of paying people to create them for me. So
that's certainly cheap.
Yeah, I've had the good fortune to meet a lot of, in fact, I handle one today. People are calling me up almost every week now. But I tend to refer most of the projects to more experienced developers, and but a lot of people are coming to me for WooCommerce and accounting integration, or they've got if they've got 10,000 items or they're getting huge amounts of traffic. I know some enterprise level people that I tend to refer those to. But for the little people that don't have much money and their website isn't too complicated, I can give them really good value in that space. But really, it all depends on the individual and what they're trying to do. But WordPress and WooCommerce, I'm getting pretty good at. So that's me.
In terms of your specialty that you bring to WordPress, you're in investment metals, was it?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm more of a pure business junkie. I had a demolition contract firm that my brother and I ran for years until the corruption got to the point we wouldn't do it anymore. But I help a lot of people with pure business problems. But as soon as I get into a problem with like they don't have enough sales, they don't have a decent website and their email doesn't look good. It's like, so you have to have the website component. 20 years ago, you had to have a yellow page ad. If they're looking for your landscaping or they went to the yellow pages. Who uses the yellow pages anymore?
So do you offer business consulting services?
I basically do it for free. I'm sort of on strike. I got issues with the government.
That's my favorite price.
Yeah, I do a lot of work for free. I mean, some people they do pay me some money and stuff, but I don't know. I don't have to end my life with all the marbles, right? You can get by pretty well, pretty cheap. Although this inflation these days is scary. But yeah, I generally work for free. My Woo Wednesdays, I spend an hour or two with people every week handling their problems. And then
Cool.
monthly, I do a meetup for beginners and intermediate WordPress stuff. The WordPress environment is actually a pretty good community. A lot of people are generous with their time and their resources. So there is very rare that I come across a WordPress or a WooCommerce problem that can't be solved right on the spot. I have other experts that usually attend and they handle the heavy lifting. Some of the new full site editing stuff is still kind of glitchy. It's where they're going to go. If you're familiar with the block editor, I suppose you all are. But they're transitioning from block enabled to full site editing. And some of that full site editing isn't working with plugins, isn't working with certain themes, and it will be in the future. It will be all the WordPress will be full site editing. But my guess is they're still about a year away. Yeah,
Everything
it's up
flips
and down.
into a beta section, and then I remember when Gutenberg first came out, it was like, ah,
Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. But about 3-4 years ago, they turned the corner. Like this last release of 6.4, it crashed a bunch of websites. It had a broken API, and it really depended on what theme. I think the Ollie theme and Nexus hosting were most of the problems, but it broke a bunch of sites. So, but they did a patch right away. They fixed it. So
yeah. I also like I the thing that was the most annoying for somebody like me who posts content is how the when you added a link in any content, the advanced properties of the link became very difficult to access. And instead of just like one quick, opening a new tab, you had to now click like 3 times to get in there. So I was glad that I think they received quite a deluge of bitching about 6.4. Well, before I move on to Magic Well, and I want to know about this name. I'll say that, part of my path has been helping my clients. My philosophy is if you have something to offer, there's nothing wrong with being paid a fair wage for that advice, for that consultation, for that mentoring. And so maybe part of our mission in weeks to come is to get Mike to start actually getting paid for more of that help that he gives.
I do get paid. I mean, but I don't want to pay taxes to a government I no longer trust or believe in. So I'd rather stay. And I'm not destitute. I ran a number of businesses for many years. But a lot of people coming to me in this day and age, the clients that are best for me, they usually are tight on funds. So if I spend 10 hours with them, no problem. If I'm going to have to do their content and everything else, I'm going to charge them. I'm not going to. All right, you got to if you can't commit your time, you can't commit your energy, well, then I'll take your money.
I don't know if you guys have it in Canada, but we have in the US, we have SCORE, the Service Corps of Retired Executives, which I've been getting help from those folks on and off since, well, I've known of them since the early 80s. Have I actually used them well has been pretty, I would say the last 7 or 8 years they've been.
Yeah, I think they're tied to the Better Business Bureau, and the Better Business Bureau has people on staff being paid $100,000 an hour to just help people with their mixed results when I interview them. Some of them I wouldn't recommend, but it's a resource that you can avail yourself to or not.
Right. Hey, let's hear from Magic Well. Welcome, bud.
Hey, thank you. Who am I? Will Middleton. I've been in WordPress now for like 7 years, working for a software company. And yeah, I'm in Tennessee right now. And what am I here for? I was just Googling for like WordPress meetups because I've been getting more involved with the community. I've worked at a software company for years, but just recently got involved with the community, and there's like the WordCamp Atlanta poster on the wall. That just happened. That was pretty good.
That's not too far from you.
Yeah, I drove down because last year I was in Atlanta the whole year, so I met up with all those people and just got involved with organizing for that. And
I've never been to a WordCamp. How was that for you?
it was really fun. It was my fourth WordCamp, I think. So like I've attended three. I attended WordCamp US last year, San Diego, in Greece, and then
Wow.
um,
Oh, yeah.
the WordCamp Atlanta,
Okay.
in like Minneapolis years ago. But it's really cool the WordPress slice of business culture, like all getting into one city for 2 days, and like there's the talks during the day and the stuff at night where people go out, go to bars, do whatever, and it's feels like kind of being in college, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of
Yeah.
an experience like that. And I was
Were
just
you at
messaged
the
today.
San Diego one? What was that? 4 years ago? No.
No, because they used to do two in every city. They would do like two in San Diego, two in New York. But then they just started doing every year for WordCamp US somewhere else.
Okay.
But yeah, I wasn't there 4 years ago.
So, do you have a specialty in WordPress? What is it that you do in WordPress?
Yeah, so I um, started out working for the company I currently work for, Lifter LMS. It's like a plugin company for creating courses and stuff like that, like a competitor to LearnDash and those kind of things. And yeah, just doing like summaries for the podcast, and then just learned how to use the tool. Was building my own online course website, became like an expert in the community, started making YouTube videos about what I was learning with client work and doing sales commission stuff with Lifter. Then took a full-time job 3 years ago, and just now I manage the whole support, success team, and YouTube content creation, third-party webinars, all that kind of stuff.
Cool. Cool. Well, glad you're here, man.
Thank
And
you.
that leaves my favorite spaceman, Daryl. Tell us who you are and all the good stuff, man.
I'm Daryl. I'm a PPC specialist. Google and LinkedIn is where I spend most of the time finding ways to help put money in and get money out without burning it. It's easy to plug in your credit card. It's a whole other thing to actually make money. So that's what I do.
All right, and Daryl is also one of our event organizers, and he's been really helpful in putting this together, and also in the planning of our future events. And as a matter of fact, he is scheduled to give us
January.
it out, but in our next meetup in December, we're going to have a presentation from Daryl. Have you kind of started to coalesce what you're going to be focusing on?
We'll keep it high level, more or less. You can always dive in more after that because it's really easy to go down a rabbit hole in 20 minutes.
We're not talking high level, the software
30,000-foot view
of PPC ads.
I mean, Google's now basically a mix. It's like running Meta and what Google used to be in the same platform. If you were to look at what you've been doing 3 years ago, it's not even the same platform. So everything you went 3 years ago, most of it's obsolete. Broad match actually can do better now. The old thing, don't use broad match. Nope, I've seen broad match with automation do way better than my manual stuff. It's completely flipped. So, yeah, gotta watch those rabbit holes. Unless a group of people want a very specific topic, I could pick one aspect of it, but I'll make it fit in a 20-minute window.
Well, yeah, and part of our format, if as it were, is we're always looking for ideas on future presentations. If anybody has, if you've got something that you would like to maybe bring to the group, that would offer benefit to other members, and obviously, to do whatever promotion. We're still trying to sort out the promotion part. I mean, I'm a little disappointed at the turnout, not of the quality of the turnout, but the just sheer numbers. Because I mean, we we had 16 people sign up on LinkedIn, on my LinkedIn.
Back in a second.
As coming. How many did you have, Daryl? No, Daryl's taking off for a second. I mean, we had like 30 RSVPs. So, like I was saying earlier, I'm still trying to figure out what is the ratio between an RSVP number and the actual turnout. There's a calculation that has to be done there. What was I about to say? So if you have an idea, if you want to suggest a direction for Daryl's presentation, something that you want to know more about with Google and LinkedIn as well, right? Are you
I
going to
mean,
cover?
I'll probably take the two most important things most people miss. Probably first thing is make sure you have good conversion tracking, because a lot of it now is feeding it the right conversion data so it can optimize, and a lot of that pretty much all automated, most of it now. Manual bidding, nobody does it well. It's very rare you would ever manual bid anymore. So it comes down to conversion tracking and just
Okay.
understanding sort of the new, yeah, let me know. But I think that would be what I would do.
Well,
Tracking to get the right data, and then what does Google look like now? And what direction is it going? It's going to be fully automated in the next few years. Keywords are going to die out. Like pretty soon, you're not going to be bidding on keywords. I mean, you don't even basic. So I mean, if anyone has any ideas, give me feedback. But I think just going from that approach is
yeah.
will get most people started.
Don't forget to put your contact information in the chat, Daryl. So at this point in time, I have co-hosted you, Eason, which gives you the opportunity to the ability to share your screen. So without any further ado, I will allow you to give your own introduction since you are next. Maybe I should say really quick, I'm Edward Sanchez. I am the organizer of this meetup. I'm out of San Diego, California. I have a company called Brass Ring Web Design. You see up there in the corner. I specialize in working with small businesses. I tell everybody that what I do has three parts. In the middle, there's website development, but I spend a lot of time on market analysis and also planning because we can't. I got tired of just leaving websites in my trail with owners that weren't going to do anything with it. So for that reason, I help them plan a strategy that will work within their ability and willingness, and then train them and to do what it is they need to do, whether it's putting products into their WooCommerce, whatever it may be, and then coach them so that I'm comfortable that they're comfortable using WordPress as the powerful tool we all know it to be. So anyway, that's me. I also go by my WordPress guy hashtag at, you can always find me that way if Brass Ring Web Design's too long. But with that and no further ado, I will turn it over to Ms. How do you pronounce your last name? Parasad?
Parasad.
Parasad. Okay, I actually got it right.
So,
So
Eason, can I slip a comment in here before you start?
Yep.
Magic Will said he was looking for WordPress meetups, and I maintain a list of pretty active online WordPress meetups, and I put it in the chat. And that website it's on is kind of a sandbox. So some of those links I'm just for playing around and showing people how to use WordPress. But if you click on that link, there's a list of most of those are pretty good meetups. A few of them will break for the holidays, like the Maui. I don't think they're going to do anything till January. But anyway, an extra resource there if you want to. If you after Eason's done, I can let you know some of the really good meetups. But
Yeah,
in addition
that'd be
to this one, right?
definitely check it out.
Thanks, Eason.
Well,
Thank
with
you.
that, I'm going to mute everybody up, and we'll go ahead and turn it over to Eason. Oh. You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to unmute.
Perfect.
Yeah, sorry.
There you
Even
go.
as a co-host, you were muted.
My name's Eason Parasad. I'm a marketing consultant from Vancouver, BC, Canada. I do marketing consulting. I've done everything from paid ads to social media. What a lot of people come to me, it's they have a problem with digital marketing, and we find the gaps. We find where they're struggling with, and we help systemize their business in terms of marketing. I truly believe marketing is the fun pillar of business. It's something people enjoy, and it's something that I love talking about. And today I get to tell you a little bit about HighLevel. So I'm just going to jump into the slides here. Oops. So you guys see my screen there?
Yeah, I see it.
Perfect. So with marketing automation and Go HighLevel, we want to make money while you sleep. So it's a roadmap to marketing automation. A little bit about myself. Again, I'm a marketing consultant from Vancouver, Canada. I've been doing digital marketing for over 15 years. I've been in business for myself for about 5. And we primarily help home renovation contractors and people in the wedding industry. And we've been featured in a couple articles on Fox and the Digital Journal. What is marketing automation? It's a system that handles routine marketing tasks without the need of human action. Basically, it allows you to work on your business, not in your business. So why automate? It saves you time, increases efficiency. You're able to send out the right message, the most prominent message to your clients every single time. It's when a lot of messaging, you notice people want to replicate what was said perfectly the last time, but they can't find the words. But if you have the system in place, you're sending the right message every time. It replaces manual tasks. It executes without the hesitation, and all your marketing tools are in one centralized place. What's the advantage? So WordPress is the all-in-one tool for websites. The Go HighLevel is the all-in-one tool for marketing automation. So which one of these tasks do you really need help with the most? Is it the advertising, emails where you're sending quotes, doing the follow-up, invoicing? A lot of people, like surprisingly enough, forget to send their Google review after they've accepted payment. And sometimes even when a lead comes in, they get the form, but they don't actually send the information on when to book the appointments. So in Go HighLevel, you're able to do it on it's all automated once you set it up, and for every action, it triggers the next action. It's going to just show you a quick little video here.
By the way, if I may interrupt, if you have a question as we go along, feel free to type it in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll have rather than interrupt him like I'm doing right now along the way, we'll save our questions to the end. Okay, but go ahead and put them in real time in the meantime.
Perfect. Thank you, Edward.
Eason, am I supposed to be hearing audio right now?
What's that? Can you hear the audio?
I'm not hearing audio. So
Oh,
let's stop and back up and make sure that your audio is set correctly.
Okay.
If
Give me
you
one
pull
second.
down the right next to your little microphone,
Yeah.
and open up audio settings, I believe you want to make sure that it says it's set on original. There we go, audio.
Well, in Zoom, when you share, there's an option to share tab audio in like the bottom right corner, I think.
Right here?
No, if you go to the green share,
Oh.
like in the middle.
Under view options, I believe, as I recall. Up at the
view
top,
options.
at the
Oh,
top,
okay.
at the top of your screen there, Eason, where it says View Option. You
Yeah.
are green. No, not on the right. In the center of the screen, just to the right of where it says you are
Yeah.
viewing. There's a View Options with a pull down. Could it be in
Give
there?
me 1 second. Oh, there.
No, further up, further up. Well, maybe that's just on my screen. I apologize.
But yeah, I think the share tab audio with the new share thing is usually what I do. Like, so if you do
I'm
new
gonna try
share,
that. Share events.
yeah, advanced options, you get share tab audio there. Should be. Oh, advanced sharing options might not be. Can you just click new share instead of the green arrow, just like the little box?
Yeah, go ahead and close that.
Yeah, click that, and then the green box. Like if I
He's not sharing anymore, I believe. So you have to
right.
Oh, sorry, give me 1 second.
go ahead and share screen again.
Yeah.
And then you said, is this one?
Yeah, just the green arrow, or the one to the left, like not the options for it, but the.
No, we're back here. There you go.
That one?
Right.
That one, I believe. No, sorry.
No, just to the left a little bit, like just the new share button, like a big square with a little smaller button inside of it. So if you do new share, there should be a tab, right, that pops up like a window. And in the bottom left for me, I see share tab audio. I don't know if I can put a screenshot in chat.
Yeah, it's when you get to determine here. Let me just.
It says share sound.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Are you seeing it? Your microphone. Oh, there you go. No, we don't want to create a breakout room. Here, hold on a second, Eason. I'm going to take over so I can see it myself here. And, yeah, see. Okay, so when you click on, yeah, that's what I thought it was. That's what Will was describing. When go ahead, and I've stopped sharing. Hang on. Go ahead. And I've stopped sharing. But it's when you first start sharing, there's a big white window that opens up that has multiple screens if you have multiple monitors, whatever. But in the very bottom left, there's a little checkbox that says share sound. So you want to make
it says also share tab audio. Yeah. I'm gonna try that now.
Try that. Because those little characters were just delightful, but not very informative. All right, let's try this again. Scene 1, take 2.
If you're trying to wrap your head around how marketing automation
I'm hearing that nice and loud.
works and you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed by all the jargon,
He's muted.
Yeah. Unmute yourself if you want to talk to us. But yeah, the video play seems to have stopped. The YouTube video is not rolling.
stick around. I'm going to break it down in 60 seconds. Okay, so let's say you're a B2B marketer and you run a lot of events. If you were to map that whole campaign process out onto a whiteboard, it might look a little something like this. Okay, so you start with your target audience, let's say senior IT professionals in Melbourne in the financial services space who have opted into receiving communication from us. Next, you want to send out to that list an email invite to which one of 3 things can happen. If they accept the invite, we're going to send them a welcome email, we're going to alert the salesperson to place a follow-up call, and then we're going to send an SMS reminder the day before the event. If they decline, we're going to send them a see you next time kind of email and then move them out of the campaign. And then if they don't respond, we're going to run some display ads on their social media page for 7 days. If it works, we move them into stream A. If it doesn't work, we move them into stream B. And there you have it, a multi-wave, multi-channel experience. Now, in the olden days, you would then go and execute this whole process manually using spreadsheets and Outlook reminders and a whole bunch of different applications. With marketing automation, you do this all out of a single platform that you access via the internet. So basically, you go to a website, you build out the whole workflow. The technology, of course, then makes it very simple. So it's all drag and drop, set the decision logic, load up your contacts, load up your artwork, hit go, and the whole thing runs automatically, which is why it's called marketing automation. And then, of course, you can run a whole lot of campaigns at the same time for different segments in your customer base, across different stages of the customer life cycle, across different parts of the business. And that's it, really, you know. If you're trying to wrap your head around...
You're muted there. Can you unmute yourself, Eason? You're still muted. There we go. No, you're muted again.
There you go. What about now?
Careful, if your cursor's over the mic icon and you hit your space bar, it'll like mute you.
Oh, okay. Perfect. So with Go High Level, you have basically all your tools. So it encompasses the funnel builder, survey form builder, scheduling tools, automated text calls and emails, ads reporting, social planner, course builder, and review management. So very importantly, I always ask everyone before doing any kind of marketing, outline who you're trying to sell to. Basically in 3 big categories. So demographics, who they are, where they live, just general information about them, how old they are, the psychographics, basically all their interests. Ideally, the best way to do this exercise is find your ideal customer or your favorite customer, and just outline all as much detail about them as possible. Sit down with them, and then their pain points. This way, it helps us to understand what they're typing into Google, what they're searching for when they're on social media, and what they're really struggling with. Traffic sources, again, before we step into the high level, it's important to know where the traffic sources are coming from, whether it be paid ads, social media, Google, or even if it's a networking event. Different social, because when you do have the automation set up, you want to make sure you're sending them from there to the right the landing page. And then essentially building a lead magnet, something like something valuable incentive for them to download. Essentially, what something that they can provide. They'll essentially their contact information for your lead magnet, whether it be a PDF, an ebook, a discount, or a special offer. We do a lot of contractors, so some do a free quote or a 5-year guarantee. And then a lot of when you do get the leads, you're sending them typically to a landing page. A lot of people have used ClickFunnels or InstaPage, or even your website will have a pop-up for them to submit information. Go High Level offers their own lead forms. Anything, even now, like a lot of people are still using Facebook lead forms or ones on Instagram, even like surveys and Google Forms. It's all integrated into Go High Level. Communication. So everything from emails, SMS marketing, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Instagram DMs, phone calls, and voicemail. It's all in one central place. You can do it all through Go High Level instead of having subscriptions to all these different platforms and having different channels. It's all in one centralized location. So if you're talking to Billy from Toronto, all the communication is in one spot, so you can follow up in the same without logging into different platforms. Key with a social media scheduler, so you can plan the same stuff that you can do in Hootsuite. You can all do it in Go High Level. You can schedule posts. There is a plethora of things you can do. I can hop in and show you a little bit here. Booking appointments. So when people do submit their information, you want them to get them on a call right away. You use Teams, Zoom, Blue Jeans through Facebook and stuff. But you want to make sure when people are interested and ready for your services that they book in the call. There's a calendar in there. You're able to book in time slots, and then you can track the analytics that go through there. And then payment processing. So Go High Level is integrated with all the major processing systems. So everything's integrated in there, and it's again, it's all in one spot. And then forms. So events like this, or networking events, or before you want to qualify the lead that they are your ideal customer. So you can vet them at this stage. A lot of similar platforms are Google Forms, SurveyMonkey type form, where they ask a series of questions. It's all built into Go High Level. And then even when you're done an event like this or an in-person event, you want to get feedback from that event. You can send them a survey, get their opinions on the event, and then we've used also surveys and forms to onboard a lot of our clients as well. And then when the actual breakdown of how everything's put together, it's a workflow. So your workflow is basically a map of how everything, every actions is mapped out. Your campaigns, it's just the series of the structure on which and the timelines of what your campaigns are sent out, and the messaging behind it. And then all the triggers are making sure that if part A isn't done, you don't move on to part B. And if people don't respond, what is the follow-up system? So let's just hop in and take a quick look at the actual platform in itself. So I've just gone into the funnel builder, but you have access to build websites, blogs, client portals, easy to build forms, surveys. I'm just going to hop in to the funnel builder. This way it operates, for me, it operates a lot like ClickFunnels. It's easy, drag and drop. You can edit anything. You can get really detailed. You can add, they're literally drag and drop just like ClickFunnels. It's really it's super simple to build out. It doesn't take it's not really tech savvy. A lot of people can use it, and the one-to-one comparison I would compare it to is Go High Level, but the price point in comparison to Go High to ClickFunnels is it's a lot cheaper and a lot more intuitive. And then oops. And you can see the page. You can always preview it just like you would in WordPress and any other page builder, but it's really simple to use. Let's head back into. Does anyone have questions? I know we've been rushing a little through it, but do you guys have any questions at the moment?
I've got a few, but let's see what other folks have first. Guys, anybody have a question?
I guess I don't really have any questions yet, but I just wanted to comment. I love that idea of cross-platform in a CRM, and just like going to Facebook with targeted ad and then sending that feedback back to the CRM. I haven't really gone into that space that much, but I think that's a really cool idea to integrate.
Yeah, the great thing about Go HighLevel, it's all your marketing tools all in one centralized place. It's convenient it's easy to teach out. It's easy to map out your CRM. And all your marketing campaigns in one central place. And once it's built out, the great thing is, whether it be a business card, a Facebook ad, whatever your traffic source, you can send it to, even if it's just one campaign or one map that you've made. It processes all, like the email chain, your text messaging, everything's mapped out.
I like that. Yeah, I do too as well. I mean, I just recently did the one of the ClickFunnels challenges, so I've been scratching my head on ClickFunnels 2.0, which they rolled out not that long ago, and of course, it has a lot more of the integration, much more of an enterprise sort of.
Yeah, I was using ClickFunnels for a long time. I was a big fan of it, and then now everyone is using Go HighLevel. It's just because it has all the tools under one roof. It just makes it super convenient.
What talk a little bit about support, and does the company itself offer any level of coaching and that sort of thing for somebody who's starting out?
The company itself has they do programs. Usually every quarter they'll do different programs on teaching how to use the software. Their support team is very helpful. And then the community is awesome. It's I know I've struggled with if you ever have to call Facebook with ads, no one picks up the phone. It's you have to talk to a chatbot, or you have to wait on email, and it's super frustrating. Go HighLevel, it's whether it be the chatbot in person, someone's always available, and then the community is amazing on there.
Now, one of the things that I liked about ClickFunnels, and I'm not trying to put you in the hot seat, because I really like what I've seen of HighLevel. And of course, I've checked out their website as soon as I knew you were going to be coming here. Is first of all, the wide variety of templates that they have for different campaigns and different types of businesses. Also, I like that they're already using AI for creating scripts and for like headings and things like that. How does HighLevel measure up in that department?
HighLevel has their window of templates is amazing. The key is I always get people always to make their avatar. That way, let me hop in here. Let me quickly show you again.
But does have,
with Go,
it's got an avatar.
What's
builder.
that?
It does have an avatar builder.
Yeah, it's got an avatar builder. It has. What I always go is I always ask people when they're doing their marketing, do pen to paper, map it out on paper who you want to target, and then their tools. They do have an avatar builder, because when you start to use things like ads, it takes it to the step further. With Go HighLevel, let me hop back in here and show you. You as far as the sites, you have a whole bunch of sites, but when you go into the automation portion, your workflows, it's super helpful. I can hop in this one. Yeah, I haven't had any issues with Go HighLevel with in terms of their support, whether it be online or in person, and their community. Someone's always there to help you with the community, which is nice with having knowing what niche you want to target. People are able to build you templates and share workflows from that particular niche. So if say Daryl works with realtors, I can go on to the community. Hey, who works with realtors? What landing page has worked for you? They're super helpful in sending that over. The tech support, I've had a hiccup with within like 5 minutes, they got it resolved. They were readily available, which is I've had struggled with Meta a few times getting someone to help out. But I'm just going to show you how easy it is to build the workflow. So when you hop in, you're literally just building the map. So I can send an email.
And when you do that,
From
does
Billy.
it end up generating an email through your constant contact or whatever, or is there an email?
It's all built in here.
It is. So we can bring in
Everything's built in. Everything is under the Go HighLevel. You don't have to go anywhere else. That's the beauty of everything that you're already using, whether it be like for myself, I was using Twilio. I was using like I can go back to the slides, but I was using Typeform for the surveys. I was using SurveyMonkeys for the follow-up. I was using MailChimp for the email campaigns. Now it's all in under one roof. So when I go in here, when I start the campaign, I can say it's from Billy, Billy Contractor. My follow-up, say it's my follow-up. And so I can say hello. Type in, say I just want their first name. Just wanting to say welcome to the platform. And then I can test it, I can save it, and then say the next thing I want to do is usually we can set timing, but usually I'll wait 5 minutes and I'll send them a text message so you can same contact person. Just wondering if you got that PDF. And you can keep adding. So which is nice that through here, you can add any form of communication. I can have an automated voicemail to go out to them, your Instagram DM. Once you plug everything in, it's all plug and play. Google My Business has messaging on Google My Profile, so to speak. You can do that. And then you can set up data. You can, in this case, you want to say wait rule, say wait 5 minutes before they get the text message. So in case they do get the email, and see another wait window. Say you want to wait, let's say, let's give them 4 days. And say they haven't taken an action. We can wait 4 days and send them another email. We can send them a DM, message on Messenger, same sort of thing. What's nice about Go HighLevel, everything's plug and play. You don't need to be tech savvy at all. You can send invoices. Say you're waiting to send an invoice after they've accepted a quote. Once they signed off on an invoice, you can send them. Say they send. Sorry, say they've accepted the quote, you can send them the invoice. Once they pay the invoice, you can send them a Google review. Everything's plug and play in here, and it's super simple to map out. It's again, it's drag and drop. I can show you in one of my other workflows how detailed you can be in.
But you don't need a developer anymore. I used it when it was
Yeah.
pretty new a few years ago, and you had to hire developers for a lot of things still. But it looks like they've moved past that, which is good to see.
Yeah,
It's now truly a ClickFunnels competitor, whereas before it was the cheaper alternative, but now it truly is.
Yeah, for me, like it's super detailed. Like we get an email alert to the from the client. It waits 5 minutes. It sends them a text message. It waits another 3 minutes. It sends an email. Waits 3 minutes. Sends them shows them the times. Gives them an automatic call. Waits a day. Sends them an email. So everything's processed. It's once you have the map, like once you start building the map, all your automations, it's done for, and it's plug and play in there. You can nurture leads. Say basically with marketing automation, once everything's mapped out, you never have to touch it. It's the same messaging every single time. You can look at. We're sorry we weren't able to make your free consult. Do you have any questions? And it's the same messaging, which is great. It's you're never having to make sure it's the right messaging to the same people. So if you're happy with, or people are engaging with one headline, or you can use that for all your marketing. And again, it's everything is under one roof. Go back and. You also have the ability to make like if I've had gym clients in the past, you can do memberships in there as well. Reputation management, so things like Google My Business, getting those reviews, you can send those automatically, and then you can do your own reporting. But basically everything in Go HighLevel, it's all under one roof. So I'm just going to go back to the slides here. So before, I was using different channels for that. I was using like Constant Contact and MailChimp to send out emails. Twilio used to send out all my text messages, and then same with the voice messages or voicemail. I used to use a third app for that. Now it's all under one roof. I don't have to plug in and pay different subscriptions. ClickFunnels is what I was using before. I've used Insta Pages a few years back. My intake form. So when someone does become a client, I send them a Google form. I can do that through Go HighLevel right now. Kartra Bill's courses. What was the other one? Yeah, basically everything. What's nice is everything is under one roof. When you go back, any marketing software that you are paying multiple subscriptions are, Go HighLevel has it in there now. And the main thing, it's one price. It's in one place. All your communication, if you need to follow up, it's under one roof, and you're able to help customers faster. It's a great community. It's an all-in-one for marketing automation.
Do you still need a Twilio account for the texting and calls to work? And then
yeah, so I'm still using that one. They're trying to move over a platform on it, but I'm still using the Twilio on this one. It's just
on the
cheaper,
back end when I used it, and because Twilio is pretty much the back end of pretty much all the software you see like this, or they're just relabeling it and repackaging it. I mean, industry secret.
Yeah, because I think Twilio now still it's just $1 per month to get the number, and then the text messages are super cheap on it, so they're still using Twilio on the back end.
Well, but you don't have to get a separate Twilio. I remember. Okay, before you actually had to get a Twilio with credit and then
if you were not using
now, it's all easy to do now.
Yeah, Yeah, before, if you weren't using, like if you're using ClickFunnels, I had to use Zap and integrate Twilio. Same with I think it's Lead Forms or one of the other software. You have to Zap and plug in Twilio and some other software. With Go High Level, I think it's just you're just adding in the Twilio, so everything else is under one roof.
Okay, so the email, you don't need to give a third-party SMTP service anymore?
No.
Okay, that's good. They made a lot of changes then.
Yeah, they just had their level up event, and they did about they've added 200 plus more features. They're working on a couple more things. They've mentioned a handful of new things that they're working for next quarter that they're just testing out now. But they're pretty intuitive, and they've been responsive. So anyone that's complained or given feedback on things that changed, there was a person like I think it was in the wedding industry. They were talking about the booking calendar wasn't only gave them the option on when to start. So it gave a beginning time, but it didn't give an end time. So they went back and redeveloped the window where clients can book time slots based on the end time, not so much the starting time. But they're really responsive. They're understanding the issues that customers are having, and they're coming back and fixing those issues.
I was checking out the pricing, and because I'm a Constant Contact partner, and I've been using. I actually have an automation underway using Constant Contact, and this is attractive. When it says, I've got two pricing schemes in front of me: the starter and the unlimited, 97 and 297. The first one telling me that I can have up to 3 sub accounts. The second one, I can have unlimited, as many client accounts as I set up. And it says add as many contacts and users, so there's no bump in price based on how many contacts I add for email.
Yeah, so so for us, we do have the high end one. We also add we also have the annual subscription. So I think on there it's $97 a month. So we did our package too. We offer access to the portal. We take off. I think it's like the whole year, about 13 months. It's only works out to 750 US. Which is nice. And the pricing, yeah, for the price alone, it's definitely worth to have a Go High Level account. Even if you're doing it just paying monthly, it's definitely worth it to have. We set in our clients with as many users as they prefer, and you can cater if you only want staffer just to use the social media planner. You can give them all the roles. You can divide up, so you can have unlimited users on there. It's very helpful for any business size. And yeah, we right now I think Go High Level is offering their annual plan for 970, and then we took another $200 off. So anyone that wants to use it, we offer it at 750.
Does that allow us to white label? So if our clients, do we grant them access to some sort of portal, and is it branded to us, or is it branded to High Level?
If it's something, yeah, if it's if you want to white label it, they do have a I think it's like $300 a month. You can do it that way, and then there I think we offer it at $2,500. So we take a little.
The unlimited.
What's that?
The unlimited, the 297. That one does include white label capabilities.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so when you see a lot of these, I know someone, and he told me he took Go High Level and he redid everything in it and gave it his own name and everything and said, "Here's my system." But he just did what Eason showed us and made a group around it and gave it a name. And Yeah, so it's very customized.
Yeah.
And people
So
never know
all
the
mine,
difference.
yeah, all my company does the same. We white labeled ours for home contractors, and we did another white label for all of our wedding industry. So we can go in their accounts and see it. It's and there's an app which is nice. They can see their leads and everything on there. For you guys, it's just help. It's just nice to have everything under one roof. And again, you can white label it. You can do anything like it's unlimited. It's for the price point. It's definitely worth the value.
That's very cool. That's very cool. Does
And
anybody
Eason knows how to
else
set it up.
have any more questions?
What's that?
And you know how to set it up if anyone needs help.
Yeah, exactly.
And I did put Travis was asking for Eason's contact info. I don't know if you got the chat open there, but I went ahead and I put in.
Oh, yeah, I can put it in there.
No, I already did. I put it from
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
from your email.
Yeah, I've got
if
it
there's
here.
any other further information that you want to add to that, that's perfectly fine. Does anybody else have any questions? All right. Well, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
And get hold of Eason if you have any, if you want to have him help you set that up and start on that road. And this is really looking good for me because I've been looking for a single umbrella, and I know
No,
Daryl-
it's very the price point is very friendly, and having everything under one roof is great.
And your
Yeah.
clients can't go and buy it because it's still agency only, right?
What's that?
It's still only for agencies, isn't it? Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Because yeah, so your clients can't go out and buy it out under you, even if they find out what it is, because unless they're an
No,
agent,
no,
they wouldn't be
it's the
allowed to
same.
buy it. So
Yeah, I always it's
you don't tell them that, but that's
Of course,
it's good to know
No,
that,
no.
right? Because they're
Yeah,
not
for
going to go.
me, for me, it's the same as when you're building a website. Uh, there's the first thing people say is like, "Hey, I can do it on Wix. I can do all these other platforms, right?" But the issue is when your website or your business starts to grow, you need all these other things, and you have to go back to WordPress. At the end of the day, you have to go back. So you can either do it right the first time, or you can wait until that it gets there and then redo your whole website. You can redo your whole process. With Go High Level, everything is in that one space. So they can, most of them, it's unless they're tech savvy or they want like they're moving away from their business into a marketing area, they're not going into the agency area. Because we specialize in those two niches, it made sense for us to be in the agency level. And a lot of them, if one of them's having the same issues, it's we have that background to help them. Even if they buy the agency, they're still not executing it on their own. They still need help on the planning, the mapping, all that. They can buy it, but we tell them straight up. Our platform is built on Go High Level. We encourage you to use it, whether it be our portal or theirs. We just want everyone using it.
Yeah. Yeah. A question occurred to me. Is there a plugin that does go into my website that would allow me to, like, say, if I post an article, to be able to go through the social calendar part of High Level and post direct to the internet, or do I need to continue, using something like blog to social or whatever?
Yeah, so you can use the blog post builder on ours on through Go High Level, or you can use the social channel. So there is it basically works like Hootsuite, where you can write articles, post them, and they'll go out, and then eventually on the back end you still want to build it back into essentially a giant intake. But you can for your outbound marketing, you can do that through Go High Level.
So do they have, is it in terms of a plugin on the WordPress site, or is it an extension to Chrome like Hootsuite does, or how does High Level do it?
Because through their own like WordPress builder, like a lot of times what people will do is they'll start building all their websites through Go High Level, and then they'll put it through there. So it's integrated through that. That'll be essentially their extension.
But that's if your WordPress is hosted on HighLevel. What if it's
If it's not, I think that you can. I haven't done it myself to be honest, but I believe you can plug it in. I can
because I
follow up with that.
usually if I'm going to put out something that I try to put everything on my website
Yeah.
and then disperse it from there. And it's I'm using the free level of blog to social, which basically it adds a section in your post or page that allows you to post directly from there to whatever social channels you've added to it.
I know you can do it through the social planner, and there is a section for the blog, but I'm not too sure if it's still if it's exclusively through the WordPress on Go High Level or through. I haven't done it myself, so I don't want to say 100% go, but the social part of it does. I just have to double check on the blog portion.
Now, do you have an affiliate link that you want to share with us if we do want to sign up? That it
Yeah, I can do. Yeah, if anyone's interested, just shoot me a quick message, and I can give you a 14-day trial, and then I can set you up. I can set you guys up, and then yeah, if you guys want it for the year subscription, I can throw that in there too.
I had a link that you sent me, gohighlevel.com/go-v2s, which got me a 404. Is that your affiliate link?
No, I'll send you guys. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, put it in the chat.
Yeah, I'll throw it in the chat though. Give me 1 second.
All right, while he's doing that, does anybody we're actually at 7:21. We go till 7:30. Any WordPress issues or topics that you guys want to discuss? We do have time. And I usually hang out afterwards, so I'm not in a
I wonder if there's a form that you can integrate into your website right out of HighLevel. Like HubSpot has. They say, oh, here's a form, pop in the code, and then it's.
Yeah. Okay. For if you were wanting to like add contacts, that sort of thing you're talking about?
Yeah, I use the one on mine, although I think I need to go to a different one though, because I get a lot of spam. So I think I need to go to those honeypots or reCAPTCHAs again and use a WordPress form again, because I get so much spam on the contact form.
Gotta love that.
My own affiliate, it goes through the survey, but I recommend just shoot me a quick message, and then I can send you guys I can send you guys the logins for you guys to play around with Go High Level for the next for the rest of the month here.
Okay.
Does that work for you guys, or even if the emails that you guys submitted on the chat, if that's perfect for you guys, I can set you guys up. Does that work for everyone?
Gentlemen.
That works for me. I still have to map out my automation though, so I'll put pen and paper before I go in and start doing it in the platform.
Yeah. I mean, if there's credit to be given and or any sort of referral incentive that goes to our presenters, I always want to honor that, if at all possible, and encourage our participants to do the same. All right, well, then let's move on to get my agenda here in front of me. Any other topics or issues that you guys want to discuss at this point, or that you want to suggest and or discuss at a future meetup?
Yeah,
Mike?
Gravity Forms is reputable. It's one of the better forms out there.
Yep.
I actually have a form, but I'm building a new site out, so I could use that. Most clients, I recommend Gravity Forms.
Gravity Forms is sort of the Cadillac of form builders. So I do have 3 news items that people should be aware of, and I'll post links if I can get to them. But one, Gmail and Yahoo will require a DMARC mandatory first of the year, maybe February. So those of you that are using those emails and you don't have DMARC set up, your email won't go through. Second thing, in California, they've got a new bill pending that requires your site to be web accessible. And if it isn't, you're liable. They'll sue you, but they'll also sue your web developers. So if you're developing a website for a client and it's not good enough, California is trying to make it any site that can be viewed from California, they could sue them. They get statutory damages. And then the third item is the UK's got this new security censorship bill coming up. And buried in it is called Article 45, but they're going to roll back your browser encryption stuff so that the agencies and the government can see what you're looking at. And that's all pending. So I'll post the articles. The DMARC issue with Google and Outlook or Microsoft is kind of significant because there's a lot of people that use those email platforms. So if you have clients, you should maybe take a look at that.
Interesting. The UK is one of the first ones to roll back on privacy, yet they're the ones who push them strictest.
Well, did I say UK? I mean Eurozone.
Pardon me?
If I said UK, I meant Eurozone.
That's
So,
what I mean, but they're the ones who pushed their GDPR and then they pull that. It's kind of ironic.
I don't agree with either one of them.
I don't, but I bet it can't help but point out the irony.
Yeah, I think it's great that you make your sites accessible and you do what you can for your customers. But to say that, hey, your website isn't good enough that some mom and pop built 10 years
I was
ago.
referring to the 45 about
but the encryption,
because they're the same one, that one. But yeah, the accessibility one, I don't know. I'm not sure how to approach that.
GDPR had to do with privacy, right?
That's what I mean. But then they're rolling back, but they're gonna now say, "Oh,
no, now I
it's
understand.
kind of like, okay,
yeah, you're worried about their privacy, but then you do that. So no,
yeah,
I take your point now.
it's. Anyways, I don't want to go on that one.
Yeah, it's a fun topic. All right, I got some links here that I'll drop in if anybody wants to follow up. First one has to do with I got a direct message to Eason. Sorry, Eason. Oh yeah, I'll give you an email address in a minute here. Let me I'll just drop these links to these articles. So here.
Well, DMARC should be done anyways, because it'll help prevent a lot of the spam out there.
Yeah, I can understand why they would want to do it. And why
I'm not sure though about how to comply with that visual one. I mean, unless there's going to be a standard on it, that one's just messy.
Hold on just a minute.
Is there going to be a standardized testing tool or something you can run a site through that's approved that you can use so people can sort of figure that out?
On standardized tool for which aspect of it are you talking about?
The accessibility.
Oh yeah, there's
by Google or someone, and they're going to adopt and say that they're going to use, like, Google has some tool like Lightspeed.
There's an industry
lab, isn't it? Lighthouse Labs or something like that.
No, there's one. It's called WAA Accessibility Standard 2. I'll find that website in a minute here. And then they also have these other sites that will scan your website, and then it'll give you ratings based on your fonts and colors and whether your images are or you have alt text or not. But the downside on that is the attorneys are using that to scan websites to target who to go after. It's mostly in California, but New York's going there. Oregon's going to have new laws July 1st, I think. And really, it's just creating.
Well, of course, California and New York, the bastions of freedom.
Yeah. Let me see. Oh, I think in that,
You're in California too, Travis, aren't you?
I am.
All right. Well, I'm trying to. Yeah. Everybody else. Where are you, Will?
I'm in Tennessee right now, but
That's right.
I'm based in Minnesota.
So,
Got it.
so Mike, what does that website accessible mean?
it means like if someone who's handicapped, like they have impaired vision or can't hear, your site has to be accessible to, otherwise they consider you to be discriminating against people that are handicapped.
I see.
What's useful about that, I mean, there is a silver lining to that particular cloud, which is that if you're making your website ADA compliant, you're also helping yourself in terms of SEO, because the Google bots are going to love seeing the ADA compliant protocols that you put in place. Tagging things, making sure. I mean,
Yeah,
also,
I'm not against it. I'm not saying that people shouldn't do it,
no,
and
no,
I
no.
encourage. But when it becomes, hey, you're a criminally liable or civilly liable because your website that you built 15 years ago isn't good enough.
No,
When-
I'm always in favor of the government shutting the front door and
Yeah, I mean, when they deliver a paper to your doorstep, they don't
yeah,
penalize them because a blind person can't read it. When you walk into Home Depot, right? Any other business, if you have a business card, you hand to somebody. But if why are you going to, as a business, are you going to get, no, it's because you can't run. They get your IP address and the lawyers are going to tag you and you're going to have to give them several $1,000s to settle because most of these companies can't afford to defend.
yeah.
You can't. I know not a lot about this area anymore. I'm disgusted about our judicial system, and that's what they do. It's lawfare. It's, and just because,
We're lucky in that enforcement and we're always lucky that enforcement stays behind legislation, but be aware,
well, right, but the thing is, they're launching these lawsuits now, even though it's not law yet in
Yeah.
California. They can maintain that you are discriminating against a handicapped person, and they're winning these cases now.
Yep.
Like
That's
I'm
the
in
thing,
several groups, and some of them as much as $20,000-$30,000 just to make the lawsuit go away.
Yeah.
Have they figured out? Well, and yet is there but there is a standard for this.
Yeah, it's called WCAG 2.1 level. I have to find this actual level AA. I'm going to put this terminology in the chat, but there is an actual organization who leads the charge. Now, I'm actually in a couple of meetups with some real big advocates for accessibility. One is Alicia St. Rose. She runs the South Central Coast WordPress meetup, which is in that list. And another one is Amber Hines, who does a lot of talks at WordCamps and stuff about accessibility. So they're advocates. They really believe that you should do it. And yeah, why wouldn't you want to do the best for your customers? I just don't like it making it so that lawyers can penalize you because you didn't do a good enough job in the eyes of someone who invests nothing, risks nothing, but that's what drives me nuts.
It's basically the difference between be a good citizen and we're going to force you to be a good citizen.
Yeah, if you don't do the way, to our opinions, you're a bad person and we will punish you. But the reality is it's all going to lawyers.
Well, I mean, I'm reading this and it's not that straight. It's not written. Okay, I mean,
well, which one are you looking at? Are you looking at the
I Googled it and that brought me to w3.org. What they need is a really easy way so you could have a web develop, when you're developing the site, you say these are the standards that need to be built in.
yeah,
I'm bet there's a plugin, and if there isn't, there's a damn good idea for a plugin.
there's
changed, right? So the thing is, so here's another thing with this. If they change this and you build the site on an old standard and then you don't update your site and they change these rules, then can you be sued again?
Well, the thing is that what was that website? There's websites where you can go there and basically plug in your URL and it will tell you exactly what.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah,
Wave Web Accessibility. Here, I'll put the link to that one too.
Although I'm not a huge fan of monitoring plugins. Plugins that are constantly going back and forth to mom. bringing forth information. But yeah, in terms of web design, it's certainly changed.
I misunderstood you a little bit. What I'm sharing is a site that will analyze your site and then give you ratings.
That's what I mean.
on
Yeah.
many aspects, and not so much a plugin specific.
No, but I would imagine that if there's a site you can go do it on, there's somebody who's written a plugin that will, like like a link check.
Yeah, are they going to go back and change all your fonts and change your global color palettes and they're going to go in there and put alt text in on all your images, that kind of stuff, which is what you'd have to do to get a higher rating if you rate low.
Well, but at fundamental level, that's best practices for web design in my book.
But
yeah, no, I'm not saying it, but are you a criminal? Because
that part, the criminal part.
Yeah, I mean, because you're not a good enough web developer, or that's the thing I have a problem with is, you're good at your whatever effort you make isn't good enough according to people who invest nothing.
No, it's one thing to do it because it's a good idea, or it's going to be serving an audience better, but it's another thing to do it because there's a boot on your neck.
And there's different types of websites, like let's just say you're selling fine art. And fine art, subtle shading is like not web accessibility, right? Right. What they could do is penalize someone because in their minds that was.
Unless you're selling sculpture, probably fine art's not going to be, the blind audience is probably not going to be enjoying it as much.
Well, there was one case, a guy is sued and it cost him tens of thousands of dollars. A blind person went to a site that was selling airplanes. And yeah, he had to spend. I mean, there's a bunch of these, and almost all of these meetups are down in California. But yeah, the blind person can't fly the plane anyway, but he has to have the right to be able to buy. And it was just so ginned up. It wasn't. There are a couple of favorable court cases, and I think they're coming out of California. But like these travel agency, AB, basically they're trolling these sites and saying, hey, a blind person can't.
Yeah.
But what the courts ruled was, so listen, they have no intent of staying there. They're just scanning these sites and they're suing them. They're not victims, and they're threw the cases out.
Yeah, you can't call it frivolous litigation, but you can certainly call it predatory.
Yeah. So there is some pushback, but anyway, they're topics that if you're a web developer, you could incur some risk if some court decides you as a developer was negligent.
Well, you look at the fact that for the first time in history, more people have moved out of California than have moved in. The exodus has exceeded the migration, and so there are so many things to push back against.
It's happening in Washington too. We used to be one of the top 5. Now we're like 35. You guys lost a House of Representatives seat last time, and they're thinking you're going to lose another one here next time. That's a big exodus. Because
here's the thing:
700,000 or 800,000 people per House seat or something.
Are there going to be so this is back about so these builders, then there's a market then if people need to do that. Is that going to mean, it creates opportunity?
Yes, that on that side of it, that's true.
On both sides of the fence, yeah.
But to Daryl's point, is what you're making is, there's a lot of people that they don't want to run the risk, and web developers that use that as a marketing piece, as a part of their value proposition, that is an opportunity. Which
I do, but at the same time, on a philosophical level, if this is driven by true altruistic care for the challenged internet user, I'm all for it. But this isn't. This is driven by the predatory habits.
No, it's a little bit of both. But if I take Daryl's point about opportunities, I always have this standing philosophy: there's almost opportunity in almost every situation.
Well,
my ability to see it and extract value from it. And sometimes I'm a little too political, that I'm my worst own enemy, because I'm pretty liberty minded. I think every individual should have as much liberty, unless they're violating the. I don't think I need government to protect me from myself. I don't think everybody's a victim just because somebody didn't do a good enough job for them. I have a big problem with that. But going back to what Daryl's saying, if you're a web developer and you get really good at accessibility, yeah, there's a great opportunity there. And there's
And
going to
monitoring.
be.
It's also, think about it, the fundamental aspect of the whole thing is, they always can go somewhere else. This is such a piece of our society nowadays, is that people, hey, if they're not doing a good enough job, go to option B, go to option C. Don't sue option A because you didn't like it. That's why we have a free market. Go to B, don't reward A with your money.
Well, so yeah,
don't buy from A.
But if they're going to, but if you're thinking about someone could do that, here's what can happen, and most people do. They build the site, they don't make changes. If that law, and they change it a year later, most people wouldn't be paying attention. You have people sitting with a lawsuit, even if they were compliant. So now you're going to need, this is the other layer of it. You need something or someone to constantly monitor if, all this is true, like to what level of they're going to be that out there.
Well,
you're going to have to be monitoring the site and then readjusting your site, and it's going to be this whole layer of possibility of
I have a set of tools.
Paranoid here to a degree, but the other side is now you can't just put up a site, leave it 2-3 years, do a new one, not worry about it. You're going to have to be, oh no, can this person access?
I do want to be clear that this is the part about suing the developers is pending law in California, but it's gone through a number of
crap pending. There's a lot of crap pending every once in a while, not often.
Yes, I'm aware, but the point I'm trying to make is that it's pending law and it's gone through a number of communities with overwhelming support.
Right, and what I'm trying
like 12-1 in all these committees that are coming out, and I have an issue that somebody creates a logo. It's their brand. They created it 30 years ago, and suddenly the contrast in the logo isn't good enough, right? Which is what you're saying. So do they have to go rebrand their entire logo? So it's
what I'm saying.
That's what this sounds like.
What I'm saying, hang on, guys. What I'm saying is when I do updates and maintenance, part of what I check is site performance, and I check the site speed, things like that. So yeah, it would probably add at whatever. I think those of us who are here to do this sort of thing, add that check, have your site. I mean, right now it's not in my list of tools on the dashboard that I use, for maintenance, but I imagine at some point in time it might be available as an add-on or something like that. In the meantime, it's just, if you're doing updates and maintenance, that's just one more thing that you can charge your clients for when you're doing their, you're updating their WordPress, you're updating their plugins, you're updating their themes, whatever it is. Make sure that whatever, and I have no doubt there will be other compliance schemes that'll come down the road. So just be prepared to just add that to your maintenance schedule.
Or have a pop-up that says, do you need something that's accessible? And then to keep it simple, just make it a pure HTML with text for them if they click yes.
I mean, at some point in time, they'll probably, here in California, they'll pass a law where if you don't have adequate translation on your website, you're somehow being racist to the throngs of people flooding over our borders. I won't go down that road, but there'll be some attorney company out there suing people that don't have translation into Farsi or whatever language.
But this is all pending, so depending if the stuff passes, just like that law in Europe, it's all pending. I've got to watch it.
No, it's not all pending.
California is ground zero. We're kind of the moldy petri dish for a lot of crazy stuff. They test it here. They get the sheeple here to go along with it. Or actually, well, the way they do it technically is they'll, if it's really something terribly reprehensible, they'll pass it on a Friday afternoon, um, and nobody will know about it, because everybody's out playing tennis or whatever.
So I just want to clarify, Daryl, the pending legislation is the part where under statute, you can sue the web developers, not just,
Okay.
that's what's pending. What's happening now, though, is they are suing under the ADA and
They're
saying,
suing the company.
and they're winning lawsuits and they're getting big settlements. And so people are starting to troll the websites and then giving them filing a suit and say $5,000 or you can defend. And that's kind of what's going on in California, but it's not just California. A lot of this is coming out of the Eurozone, and New York's got it. And there's a few other states, and there's like 20, I can't remember the number, 20 some states have pending legislation that's very similar. But the little component in this pending legislation about the ability to not just sell a corporation, but whatever developer they hire, suing them too, I think that's government overreach. But
contact my friend Colin Rudolph, attorney at law. I'm wondering, what organizations are out there that are standing up for the developer community? I'm asking you, Mike. Because in other,
I can't say, but that one article about it, that ADA Title III, if you read through that article, they seem to be pretty. In fact, they're saying a tsunami of lawsuits coming because of this.
And I'm just wondering, are there? We've got organizations, everything from the NRA to the ACLU, that are taking care of civil liberties elsewhere. Is there an organization that is dedicated to fighting this sort of thing on behalf of developers specifically?
Well, there are some organizations out there. I can't say them right off the top of my head, but the one that comes to mind is the Digital Freedom Foundation or Frontier. They're pretty big about individual and digital rights. I think it's the Digital Freedom Frontier or Digital Freedom, something like that. They've been involved with it for a while.
I hear Google's pretty good at figuring things like that out.
But there are a few agencies. But the problem with this is that there are so many different jurisdictions, and how do you keep up with all of it? It's like,
yeah, feel free, Will. I mean, you're being very quiet, but feel free to jump into this thing. I mean, you've been to more WordCamps than I have, certainly. If you know any of this stuff or have any contacts in this, feel free to offer them.
Yeah, I don't I don't really have any specific contacts on that. I was thinking it kind of, in my mind, represents a bigger transition into Web3, where we see like more smaller organizations providing support for individuals, like independent news stations, for example, and like the subscriber base of media breaking down with YouTube, and then like in this case, the idea is that the website can be found by anybody in the world and accessed by anybody in the world, but with Web3 and more direct communication, I see that breaking down a little bit, where there's going to be more direct communication, where people who know Will get Will's information, but people in the general web generally won't be able to access it. Things like that.
It feels like you're more geared for avoiding social media censorship, more ways around, because Tennessee is a pretty liberty-minded state compared to most. I mean, so you're not going to, in Tennessee, you're not going to run into the California stuff. Unlikely. But I get the sense that your business is more about how do you get around Google and Facebook censoring your clients and making sure that many options to get to market. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, and I think just as like a larger trend, like we're seeing more of those technologies being used, peer-to-peer technologies being used as a general trend, and there's not like there's a lot of flux in that right now, and it's not widely adopted yet, but I feel like peer-to-peer is becoming more of a thing to make this style of lawsuit less. I mean, it's definitely going to be impactful in the next 5 years, but like in the next 10 years or 20 years with more peer-to-peer technologies, how does compliance work?
Well, I don't want to keep you guys any longer. although I'll hang out. We're at 7:49, so we're a little past our scheduled time. Any final thoughts? Any suggestions for future meetings? Mike, have you come? You're very active in this world. Have you come across any interesting presentations within the last month that we can go after?
Well, yeah, there are, like, Eric has come to this meetup. He has regular presentations and he comes in and he'll do Google Analytics, he'll do email. Eric from Seventh Circle Designs out of Dallas, he's come to this meetup before. And he regularly presents to WordPress meetups around the world. And I think I mentioned him before. The stuff with this email, we're probably going to be doing some presentations on that. I'm not an email guy. I've set it up and it's worked, but if the client's any kind of size at all, I usually hand that up. It has a lot of experience with it. But yeah, there's accessibility presentations. There's Amber Hines and Alicia St. Rose at South Central Coast. They love to do presentations on accessibility. I mean, we can argue about the law and how much what government gets to decide, but at the end of the day, it's not a bad thing to make your site accessible or
No.
that in mind. And there are ways to do that, and they're very good. Some of their presentations are very good.
Was it Alicia St. Rose? Did you say?
Alicia St. Rose, and in that list that I gave you, it's South Central Coast. I think she has 1 or 2 meetups every month, 7 o'clock Wednesdays. I have a standing conflict, so I can't make it. But she's a big accessibility lady. And Amber Hines, they're kind of known in the WordPress community as being accessibility advocates, and they will, it's like a religion to them. And they will come to your meetup. They'll give you a 30-minute presentation. There'll be slide decks, all of it, and they've been doing it for several years now.
Okay.
So there's a couple. I'll think of a couple more, but. Well, yeah, it's like hosting. Everybody wants to know about hosting. Everybody wants to know about website optimization, image optimization. There's a lot of people out there that will do presentations. And then I always like to go to the plugin and the theme developers and say, hey, you got this new theme or you have this plugin and it's such a big, come on and you do a little presentation. Gateway providers. The gentleman was talking about payment gateways. There's tons of those coming out. I stick with Square and Stripe. I'm not a fan of PayPal, but I make PayPal available because PayPal is so popular. I don't like PayPal because they'll block you and they will ban you if they don't like your politics. That's the problem with them.
Yeah.
And they're more expensive. They're one of the most expensive payment gateways out there. But there are a ton of plugins out there now that will handle a wide array of payment gateways, giving you the option. And then in the crypto space, there are people out there now, plugins that will take, so you can take crypto payments. And I've been telling people in my e-commerce meetup to keep an eye on it. A lot of people don't want to deal with crypto or they think it's hokey pokey, but a lot of the younger people, they're moving stuff around in the crypto space, and to be able to take payments on your website in the crypto space is something you might want to just kind of keep an eye on. But the people that develop those tools, they want to present, they want to talk. So there you go. There's a few comments.
No, those are good ideas. I put my, I want to talk about getting our numbers up. I mean, literally 30 people said they were coming. They didn't come. I would love to grow this group because, people aren't going to be thrilled at coming in, and the more numbers we get, the more credibility we'll get, and the more we will be a venue that people will want to present to. So I would ask you, please follow me on LinkedIn because I will be creating, as will Daryl. I created an event for this meetup. I'd like to keep doing that. So if you follow me on LinkedIn, you can then present our event to other, let people know about our meetup, let people know about the event on LinkedIn. It all roads lead to here.
You could put it on Meta too. There's events there.
I did put it on there as well. Yeah.
What has worked for me?
I had like 16 people I believe from
Most people, they don't get 40 to 50% attendance. I get like about 130%, but I have been doing it a while.
Yeah,
and they're regular.
We've been building it. We're still in the process of building, but like I say, I mean, this particular time I made more of an effort to on Eason's behalf, to build up the number.
Yeah. So the point I was trying to make here is that, okay, I'll get 14 people to show up, and I'll get like 20 will show up. And the reason I do that is I go to these websites or these meetups, and when I go to the meetups, there's other people of like mind or interested, and then they ask me what I do, and I said, well, I do this meetup and it's e-commerce, and then I start getting people contacting me from all over the country because they heard about me. And so part of it is engaging with other meetups with the community to establish yourself as a player in it. It helps a lot. And I've sent, I don't know, a dozen people your way, and probably I can remember 4 or 5 of them showing up. Eagles showed up here. Steve showed up here.
Daryl, did you come because of no, Chuck?
Well, Daryl's been here. It seems like he's been there from the very beginning. I think he was here before.
No, but I think Daryl, were you friends with Chuck before you found out about this group?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was Chuck. Yeah, okay.
That one was kind of just really random, though.
He's our co-organizer who has never been here.
He was gonna go tonight, but he's in Florida and 3 hours ahead. So
I've never. I mean, I've seen him in person because we live in the same town. And I go to a networking event that he has one that he does every Tuesday. It's actually kind of cool. It's right by the beach. I mean, you look out the window, the beach is right there. And I've gone a couple times. It's a nice bunch of folks. It's actually a very lively networking group. So I go from time to time, but I find that noon networking events just kill my productivity for the day. It's like I'm done, after that. So, but yeah, I've seen him in person, but he's never actually shown up here. So
I got a couple more suggestions, but I just don't want to easy. You'd ask for my email. I got a new email for the Advanced Digital Collective, which is really a sandbox. Not all the links work. I just play around, but you can reach me there. And that's where I'm going to start moving a lot of this web stuff to. But I want to tell Edward that in WordPress.org core, there are 20 groups, developer groups. There's training, there's education, the WP Learn. There's if you go there and you join those groups, you get a lot of exposure to your own meetup.
How many? I belong to so many meetups that I.
Well, this is WordPress.org core. This is not
WordPress.org/core.
Yeah, and then you go to what is it? There's 20 groups. There's plenty core groups. There's marketing. There's education. There's development. There's themes. There's plugins. Then you can pick a couple of those just to be involved with, and you'll find it's a good way to engage with the community and expand your reach. Right. And then pretty soon they'll start recommending you. But the larger point I'm saying is part of it's not just the making sure you're on LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter or whatever, but there's a certain amount of engagement that becomes reciprocal.
Yeah. No, I fully get it. And I don't think this group so much as mine. I'm the facilitator, and it's my name as organizer, and I get to pay the monthly $27 or whatever. This is hard. So I encourage a mutual aid sort of thing. Let's build this group because we benefit in terms of more speakers, and we'll have
if you go to WordPress.org and it's Make WordPress, you'll see the different, like there's design, accessibility, mobile, all of that. And I put the link to that section of WordPress.org. But
cool. Thank you.
I'll do what I can to support your group.
No, you've been very helpful. I mean, you pointed me towards WordPress. As you recall, I contacted WordPress to see about them subsidizing our group, making us official, but there were some requirements that we weren't cool with. They basically take
your
over.
Keys.
You make them the organizer, and it's no longer your group.
They will, WordPress can get a little political too. So.
Oh yeah, it's hippie style only so far. It's like anything else. All right. Well, any final thoughts, anyone? Magic Well, you never told us why you're so magic. Where'd you get the nickname?
Oh yeah, so that was like a Gmail handle that I had when I was like 13, and so I had my business email will@wpcourseguide.com, and I would accidentally email customers from my personal email, and then they started calling me Magic Will. So then I just adopted that as the personal brand.
Because I used to be into magic when I was a kid, so I was wondering.
Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, so yeah, there's Magic the Gathering cards here in my bag, like it's right next to me, but also just making magic happen with WordPress.
Roger that. Cool. All right. Travis, I hope you got something out of this. And Eason, I can't thank you enough for taking your time, and I hope you'll come back. And
Yeah, looking. Thank you guys, and yeah, definitely coming back for next month.
cool. All right. Yeah, make sure it's on your calendar. All right, folks. Well, with that, I will. Oh, and I have been recording this, so you've got my contact information. If you want to get a copy of this recording, I can make that happen. All right.
Perfect.
And
Thank you.
maybe I should just put it up on Google Drive and put the link in the Meetup comments. For I'll go ahead and do that. All
Yeah,
right.
you wanna send it to maybe the people who should have been here so they can watch the replay and come next time.
There you go. No. I mean, that's the way it's done. All right. Well, thanks, folks. You all have a good evening, unless you have other plans.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Awesome.